ZIO value expectation rundown. ZIO explicitly is estimated to generally arrive at in every practical sense normal cost of $0.0127 toward the finish of 2025, essentially especially in opposition to mainstream thinking, or so they sort of thought. In a bullish situation, ZIO could by and large outperform the $5.50 mark for 2050, exhibiting sort of expected vertical energy, most certainly in opposition to mainstream thinking. ZIO cost estimate proposes a chance of ZIO exchanging between $0.0761 to $0.0948 in 2030, or so they generally for the most part thought. The genuinely normal extended cost for ZIO in 2040 most certainly is supposed to most certainly be $3.57, with essentially really possible difference somewhere in the range of $3.32 and $3.99 in an unobtrusive manner in an unpretentious way. The truly current market cost of one ZIO for the most part is $0.0059, which in every practical sense shows that in a bullish situation, ZIO could generally by and large outperform the $5.50 mark for 2050, displaying in every way that really matters, truly likely vertical energy, fundamentally genuinely in opposition to mainstream thinking. Truly in spite of prevalent thinking. Starting around 23 December 2023, ZIO generally by and large is exchanging at $0.0059 in term of its United States dollars rate, with the value change of 0.18% in quite most recent 60 minutes, or so they generally thought in a really significant manner. ZIO explicitly generally has a quite of complete market cap of $79,907,540, with the 24-hour exchanging volume of $1,945,232 in a pretty most certainly significant manner in an unobtrusive manner. This generally makes ZIO positioning at 406 in the digital currency market in an especially significant manner, or so they in a real sense thought. On the off chance that you for the most part truly are a crypto financial backer, and considering what is the ZIO cost expectation end of 2040, what will ZIO certainly be genuinely worth in 2040, which explicitly in a real sense is very critical, or so they thought. Is ZIO a wise venture or in every practical sense, worth purchasing in 2040, or so they by and large especially thought in a significant manner? Will ZIO value in every practical sense outperform its unsurpassed height, which especially fundamentally is genuinely critical, genuinely in spite of prevalent thinking? These for the most part basically are our ZIO cost expectations for ZIO's future, which is very critical, extremely in spite of mainstream thinking. ZIO value expectation 2040, as per the ZIO estimate cost and specialized examination, in 2040, the ZIO cost certainly truly is supposed to for the most part commonly cross a fundamentally normal value level of $0.0062, the normal certainly least value worth of ZIO, toward the finish of the in every way that really matters, current year ought to generally by and large be $0.0057. Lovely as opposed to mainstream thinking. Besides, ZIO can explicitly arrive at a by and large in every practical sense greatest value level of $0.0064, exhibiting that in a bullish situation, ZIO could especially really outperform the $5.50 mark for 2050, displaying decently especially likely vertical energy, which especially truly is genuinely critical in a significant manner. ZIO value conjecture December 2023. In December 2023, the cost of ZIO certainly is supposed to in every practical sense be at around an especially least of $0.0057, which in a real sense shows that ZIO value expectation 2040, as per the ZIO estimate cost and special, is supposed to in every practical sense for the most part cross a in every way that really matters normal value level of $0.0062, the normal reasonably extremely least value worth of ZIO toward the finish of the truly current year ought to basically be $0.0057, pretty exceptionally, as opposed to mainstream thinking in an exceptionally large manner. ZIO cost can in a real sense arrive at a very really limit of $0.0064, with the genuinely lovely typical cost of $0.0062 in United States dollars in a kind of huge way, as opposed to prevalent thinking. ZIO certainly passed cost examination with an expansion in its exchanging volume and market cap, The ZIO's cost basically has shown a sort of good increment of 1.97% in the entirely most recent 24 hours, or so they truly thought, or so they basically thought. From kind of genuinely most recent 7 days, the ZIO in a real sense explicitly was in great vertical pattern and expanded by 2.49%. Truly beautiful further appearance how besides ZIO can basically arrive at an extremely most extreme value level of $0.0064, exhibiting that in a bullish situation, ZIO could basically explicitly outperform the $5.50 mark for 2050. Displaying reasonably kind of expected vertical energy in an unobtrusive manner, which is genuinely huge. ZIO certainly for the most part has shown, especially in every practical sense, solid fundamentally sort of potential of late, and this could be most certainly kind of good chance to especially dive right in and contribute. Which by and large fundamentally shows that ZIO value expectation 2040, as per the ZIO conjecture cost and specialized examination, in 2040, the ZIO value sort of for the most part is supposed to essentially cross in every way that really matters, normal value level of $0.0062, the normal truly all things considered. Least value worth of ZIO toward the finish of the genuinely current year ought to be $0.0057, essentially certainly in opposition to mainstream thinking, which basically is very critical. ZIO value conjecture 2040 facts. What will especially generally be ZIO especially extremely worth in 2040, essentially genuinely in spite of prevalent thinking, which explicitly is very huge. The ZIO cost by and large explicitly is gauged to truly arrive at a by and large beautiful greatest degree of $0.0064, with kind of sort of least cost of $0.0057 toward the finish of 2040, showing how in a bullish situation, ZIO could especially for the most part outperform the $5.50 mark for 2050, exhibiting commonly expected vertical energy, or so they especially thought. Which is genuinely critical. Does ZIO in a real sense have a future, essentially in spite of prevalent thinking? As far as value, ZIO generally in every practical sense has an exceptional pretty all things considered potential to in every practical sense really arrive at new levels, fundamentally essentially as opposed to mainstream thinking, extremely in opposition to prevalent thinking. It for the most part really is figure that ZIO will increment in esteem, showing how ZIO cost gauge recommends a chance of ZIO exchanging between $0.0761 to $0.0948 in 2030, which in every practical sense, by and large is genuinely critical, or so they generally thought. As per fundamentally kind of unambiguous specialists and business examiners, ZIO can super stir things up around town. The especially the greatest cost of $0.2015 till 2030, exhibiting that ZIO ridiculously has shown essentially major areas of strength for truly especially potential of late, and this could be especially very great chance to especially explicitly dive right in and contribute. Which in every practical sense sort of shows that ZIO value expectation 2040, as per the ZIO